So we're at the conference really because, well, it's the perfect audience for us. We work heavily in the metaverse space, in the NFT space. We've been working with Harry and his team since last year as well. Yes, so we've been working with Harry and his team since last year when he started DeFi Live. And we're heavily into the metaverse space, into NFTs, gaming. So it's a real perfect crowd here for us that we want to work with. So, our background, we previously started a data center and cloud business like 20 years ago. We ended up the biggest data center aggregator in the UK. So we built kind of an early version of Decentralized cloud about 15 years ago. We're in 50 locations all around the world, built cloud platforms, data centers, fiber networks. So we'd previously had to build kind of a big global network. But one of the challenges was always, Amazon and Google and the other hyperscalers were taking our clients' market share, and then they couldn't compete because they're not big enough. But they've all got spare capacity, and about 70% of the CO2 that's used in cloud, is just building the data center and building the servers. So if we can make better utilization of all of that infrastructure, it's better for the environment. It means that everybody gets a chunk of the pie, really. And it's got the advantage is that if we're using the spare compute or available computing in the world, it means metaverses need edge networks, because you need to be within 20 milliseconds, which is about a fifth of how quickly you blink, for your servers when you kind of build the network, anywhere around the world for it to be immersive. And you can't do that with the big cloud providers.
So how are you positioning yourself against companies like Oracle and some other big cloud startups?
Yeah,
in the space, because there's quite a lot of competition.
There is, and it's a big market. It's about 82 billion is this market. So we if you look at us, we're kind of the equivalent of cloud computing for Airbnb, if you want to take it in simple terms. Is that we don't own any of the infrastructure. We work with thousands of providers all around the world that make up the computing network. And it's exactly what metaverses need. Like the Oracle and the other hyperscalers, they can't compete in the metaverse space from an edge perspective, because they're all centralized in a lot less locations. Whereas if we've spoken to a lot of metaverses here, which already agreed to, they're going to be using our network as well.
Right.
So they're hitting challenges. They're hitting technical challenges and they're hitting geographic challenges. So the whole point is that everybody, all these service providers are contributing to the network.
So when you do talk to these metaverses here, or clients or future projects that you want to work with, how does that work? Do you give them a trial run of your services, or do you?
Yes.
Is it subscription based after that, like monthly?
So they to give you an idea from a technical perspective, a metaverse server kind of can take about 150 users. So if you've done a big metaverse event and it's really popular, you need about 7,000 servers all around the world to run 1 million users. If you have 10 million users, you need 70,000 servers. So, Intel has said we need 1,000 times more capacity than we have today to support the move to metaverses. So, we've got huge growth over the next 5 years or so in this space. And just the way the current providers are set up, they're not designed to do that. They're meant to do more centralized cloud.
So how are you going to try and grow and expand to meet that demand? What's your kind of mission strategically?
We're bringing on service providers all around the world.
Yeah.
So we've got, we've got a software version, a kind of a consumer version of our software as well. Ultimately, we want to be running compute on home users' machines. We've got about 750,000 users on that platform.
Wow.
But then we're also working with all the data center and cloud providers. So we should have, our other software is installed in about 145 countries, but we should have about 90 countries covered by the start of next year. And then we're on track for about 150 later in the year. So that means that it's a huge global network. So they just come to us. They've got spare capacity and available capacity, and it works out much more cost effective. So you can scale fast and more cost effectively. And it's just a blockchain. So if you're building any type of infrastructure, metaverses, games, NFTs, things like this, that's what our blockchain is designed to do. It's a scalable computing network.
I think that's fascinating, because you guys have the infrastructure kind of already in place. You're just adding layers to it, which enables you to expand quickly, far beyond your competitors.
Exactly. Yeah, and it doesn't matter what blockchain you build on. So you can build on Ethereum, you can build on Cardano or Polkadot, but you can scale out the infrastructure with our blockchain.
So are there any future projects that you want to be talking to, any metaverse focused projects that you perhaps haven't chatted to yet that you want to get on board?
There are, but I just to try and think what they are. I mean, we just talking with Nemesis now. You know, their platform looks amazing, actually, like graphics wise. So there's a lot. I think we're winning probably 100% of the conversations that we're having.
100%.
Yeah, well, we have so far. You know, and it's just because it doesn't exist at the moment. The way that we've designed it. You know, if you wanted to build a metaverse and you just want to be live in 100 countries, you can literally just type it into our platform, and that's what it does. So it's there isn't anything like that at the moment. So,
have you heard of a platform called RP1?
No.
So I think they have a server that can host 1 million people, and it's building rapidly.
Oh, okay.
So that might be a conversation
it would be
worth
good to talk to.
having. Perhaps we can set that up off
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, that.
So those guys are doing some quite like revolutionary stuff that might kind of fit in your remit and what you're doing with Cudos.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be really good.
Sounds good.
Definitely.
And so for the future of your platform and for Cudos, what does the strategic roadmap look like? Obviously you're expanding rapidly.
Yeah.
Does that include hiring a lot more people, etc., developers, infrastructure providers?
Yeah, we probably about 60% of the business are engineers and developers. Yeah, so we're very, obviously we're building big platforms and networks, so we're engineering heavy. So our monetization software, which is the 750,000 users, that went live about 2 years ago. Our blockchain went live about 3 months ago. And then we have also our computing network goes live next month. And that's when people can start scaling out kind of metaverse infrastructure. So, and then we're launching tokenized infrastructure as well, which like for someone that owns an NFT or is inside a metaverse, it's basically a way of getting like a yield off your NFT. So we've got yield NFT providers and in-games assets that can actually earn you money. And really, what we're doing from a technical perspective is pointing it to data center infrastructure that generates money, and you kind of own a percentage of that data center. So it's a way that we can kind of have a real asset back.
How does that work? So
we have an NFT that shows you, kind of represents, let's say you've got a data center in a renewable energy location, and that's generating money. You can own a small percentage of that. So they split some of it up, and that's what our software does.
Did you have is there like a data wallet that you have, or is that something that you could...
It's all held as an NFT, actually.
Just as an NFT? And so you can have that on OpenSea?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Well, we're talking to metaverses to integrate it into metaverses as well. So you can buy this NFT in a metaverse, and then we're going to create some really cool graphics and things around it, and then it just continues to generate you a yield inside your metaverse, which you can then go spend.
Right, so this generates an income for people who hold the NFT?
Yeah, that's it.
So what kind of income?
Cool. It's about...
Estimation-wise?
About 20 to 30% per year is what we're... Of what you... So let's say you bought $100 worth of it. It would generate you $20 to $30 per year.
Wow. That's fascinating.
Yeah, it's something we've been working on for quite a long while.
Yeah, because we are hearing a lot of initiatives like this in the space, turning data into some form of digital asset that you can actually monetize. Yeah. And also, I guess part of your mission is to ensure that people own their data again, rather than getting it all sold to these big multinational corporations.
Yes, yeah, so that's the whole idea, is that everyone earns and contributes rather than the few earning.
And data ownership is very important for Cudos.
Yeah, definitely.
So fantastic. Yes. So to round off the interview, could you explain to our audience perhaps what they should be looking forward to with Cudos, and kind of what the next 6 months looks like?
Yeah, okay. I mean, the computing goes live next month, which is really cool. So it means by the end of the year, we've got a lot of metaverses coming on, and they're going to start building on our network. I mean, the blockchain's live. The token's called Cudos. You can go to kudos.org and find out about what we're doing. And then the tokenized infrastructure, we've got about $100 million worth of infrastructure being committed to that, which will be going live next quarter as well. So just join our Telegram, our Twitter, and keep up with what we're doing. But we got some by the end of this year. There's a lot of really exciting stuff going live.